Okay, it only when you have value for compassion, only then you can make effort to somebody.
Samrashana?
Okay. There has to be value for compassion in order for you to work towards anger. એટલે value of values કેવી રીતે જન્માવી?
How a given value is helpful to me personally. What do I stand to gain by following a value? Such as compassion. When I follow a value, the greatest beneficiary is myself. Although through the practice of value, someone else becomes a beneficiary, you show compassion towards somebody. In that process, the one who is most benefited is our own self. Because when I have a mind that enjoys compassion, I become happy with myself. So each value creates a state of mind when I find myself happy with my own self. So a compassionate I, a truthful I, a non-violent I, an honest I is dear to me. So Atmanastu Kamaya. Our Puja Swami translated that everybody loves a pleased self. Thus, whenever I follow a value, I become pleased with myself because I feel that I have done something right, something worthwhile. So, whenever I speak truth, I'm honest, then I become worthy in my own perception. And when I tell a lie, then I may stand to gain something in the worldly sense, but I lose my own respect in my own perception. I do not respect a dishonest I. I do not respect an angry I. I do not respect a greedy I. I respect a generous I, a compassionate I, a forgiving I. So the first beneficiary of following a value is myself. That's the value. How following a value makes me happy with myself. So that is a value that a value has for me. How any value is personally valuable to me because it creates a pleased self. It creates a sense of self-worth, self-respect, self-esteem.
Yeah.
So to develop self-esteem, we prescribe the following of the values. That's the very fundamental way of discovering self-esteem. Because I hold in high esteem an honest I, a truthful I, a non-violent I, loving I. I hold esteem for other people when I see those qualities in them. And I similarly hold myself also in esteem when I find those qualities in me. So that is a benefit that I stand to gain by following a value. So that's the value of value. How a value creates a pleased self, how a value creates a worthy self, a respectable self. So that's what a value of the value is. And that respectable self is valuable to me.
Right.
So that's why the value becomes valuable to me.
Yes.
And that's my incentive to follow a value. So this is a concept that is given by our Swamiji. Value of values. People all will talk about values. But a value becomes a value when its value becomes valuable to me. That's how Swami says. A value becomes a value when its value becomes valuable to me.
Right.
Thus, for every value, we must discover how it is personally valuable to me.
આ વસ્તુ મને મારા સ્તરે સમજ પડે છે, પણ આ વસ્તુ મારે બાળકોને સમજાવી હોય in a given situation. For example, ગઈકાલે Isha was bullied very badly in school. This girl, she's a Muslim girl, and she verbally abused Isha for no reason, ગમે તેમ બોલી. And she was in tears, and એની સાથે ગુસ્સો પણ હતો આ છોકરી માટે. અને I tried to explain to her, okay, you see how Ram never feared Ravan, even though Ravan was looking very ferocious. But I was trying to explain her, first of all, to calm down, not to get mad, and also to keep her self-esteem. કારણ કે કોઈ તમને ગમે તેવા શબ્દો બોલી જાય ગુસ્સામાં, તો તમે એવા બની નથી જતા, first of all. એટલે there were two things that I was trying to work with her. First of all, to make sure that her self-esteem is retained, regardless of what was spoken to her by this person. And second of all, eno gusso towards this person. I thought that was maybe too high of a bar for me not to expect kene gusso na આવે, which is obvious ena umare. But આવું હવે બહુ જ વધશે because she's going to be in middle school. The middle school is notorious for bullying here. It is.
Oh, yeah?
It's very bad. Ha, Swamiji, it's very bad. And knowing Isha how she is, very shant, very calm, she will never provoke anyone. And એ સાંભળી લેશે. Maybe she will walk away at the most. But I have to prepare her for this environment. Making sure that she does not give up on her values, because she knows that kindness is a value, compassion is a value. But our environment માં રહીને, how to retain the value of values for her, to keep saying, you stand by what you are, regardless of what happens. I mean, obviously, the only thing is that you can complain to the teacher, which I did, and એ રીતે administration will affect. But તમે એમના જેવા ના થઈ જાઓ એમ. You don't give up on your values just because you are in this environment. It is very difficult, especially because she's so young. I'm trying how to translate, or to, because right now she's a very nice, kind kid. I'm very grateful that she is the way she is, but I'm not sure how I can keep her this way now that she's going to be exposed to this environment where there is a lot of abuse.
The management knows that?
હા, એટલે મારી ટીચર સાથે વાત થઈ છે. આ છોકરી જેને કર્યું એ she's like that to a lot of people. એટલે પણ it takes its process. And the teacher, the first thing is like, oh, this is very common. અને આ તો વધશે હવે middle schoolમાં તો. And verbal abuse is very common. Goes to the physical abuse also. The kids are bullies.
Is public school?
Ha.
Middle school means 6th grade?
6th grade. 6th through 8th.
Arre. That's very sad.
Yes.
સ્વામીજી જાનવી પણ આ સ્ટેજમાં ગઈ છે. She had to process so many, and that's how she lost her confidence in middle school.
Okay.
It's a very tender age because teenage is going to start in a couple years, and a lot of external influence. To retain that core personality of who you are and not losing the value of values. I mean, અમે રામાયણ દરરોજ વાંચીએ છીએ. I tell her stories every day before bedtime. And I keep saying, if you want strength within, you have to pray. I mean, you can. I don't know how else I can help her to keep her.
It's a tough job for children. I mean,
Yeah.
when somebody bullies you, abuses you, insults you, it is very difficult to maintain. And this girl will just keep on, I think, absorbing things. That's all. She may not. She is not a very bullying girl, and so
Yeah.
she will only receive it, absorb it, internalize it, and suffer.
Mm.
એટલે
And
હંમેશા સહન કરી લેવાનું શીખવવું નહીં, એટલે ક્યારેક તો
ના, સહન કરવો શીખવતી નથી, એ એવી છે જ. That is her trait. I was actually thinking કે એને martial arts માં મૂકું, પણ that is just helps with physical thing. This verbal abuse is at the mental level, and nothing can prepare you unless, I mean, as a parent, I have to give her positive affirmations.
તો
કે you
માર્શલ
are
આર્ટમાં
very
મૂકજે એને.
મૂકું.
હા, અને એકાદ ચોપ આપી પણ દે,
ના
પછી
અપાય
બધું અબ્યુઝ
સ્વામીજી
બંધ
અહીંયા.
થઈ જાય. ના એ તો
ના, મેં મારી બંને છોકરીઓને કિક બોક્સિંગમાં મૂકેલી.
હા
કિક બોક્સિંગ ક્લાસીસ હોય ને, જે
હા
માર્શલ આર્ટનો વન પાર્ટ, એ બંને છોકરીઓ અને
કરાટે પતી જાય હાઈ સ્કૂલ પણ, એટલે પણ I was reading upon it yesterday about martial arts. And it takes about 7 years for you to get to that level where you develop that kind of strength. But by that time school is over. So
yeah, maybe we should have started earlier, but anyway,
yeah, yeah,
નાનીને
yes,
પણ મૂકજે.
yeah. એની જરૂર નહીં પડે કદાચ.
હા એ ખરો, બરાબર.
Okay, sorry.
બીજી કોણ છે આ બધા નામ ભાઈ? હા બલદેવજી, ઓ બજાજ, ઓ રાની બજાજ, એવી જ હોય તો. અને આ સ્વામીની છે? ઓકે, ઓલરાઈટ.
Namo Narayana.
How are you?
I'm much better.
Much better? Okay.
Thank you for the gift of Vaishala. He has been guiding, throughout on a daily basis. Yeah.
હજી તો છે. પછી પ્રજ્ઞાબેન છે? તમે કંઈ કહો છો પ્રજ્ઞાબેન? મને સંભળાતું નથી.
સ્પીકરમાં થોડો એ થયો, સ્પીકર બટન. હરિઓમ સ્વામીજી,
હા
પ્રણામ
હરિઓમ.
કરું.
હા બોલો. હા
અમારે રામાયણ હવે છેલ્લું જ એમાં છે, 7 બાકી છે, કાલે પૂર્ણાવતી કરવાની છે,
ઓહો.
એટલે પતે છે મારું.
હા એટલે રામ વાલ્મીકી રમણ સુંદરકાંડ તમે કર્યો ને?
ને આખું
આખું
વાલ્મીકી
રામાયણ?
રામાયણ
હા હા,
આખા મહિનાનું
આખા
પારાયણ.
મહિનાનું. ઓકે, પારાયણ. ઓહો, એટલે રોજના 800 શ્લોકો થાય?
જી, એટલે રોજના લગભગ હું 55 થી 60 પાના વાંચતી હતી.
ઓકે.
એ રીતના મારું આજે હવે આવતીકાલે કમ્પ્લીટ થશે, અને પૂર્ણાહુતિ જે શાસ્ત્રોક રીતે કરી એવી રીતના પૂર્ણાહુતિ કરવાની છે. બહુ વખતે મેં
કેમ છે નિકિતા? એની ક્વેશ્ચન?
હરિઓમ સ્વામીજી.
હરિઓમ.
સ્વામીજી, તત્વબોધના તમારા લેક્ચરમાં આપે સમજાવ્યું કે સમાધાન, which is one of the virtues of Shat Sampatti. So samadhan means single pointedness. That's how you explain. And then you explained this concept of single pointedness basically. So while performing, and you have also explained that maintaining the thought flow that I am Brahman. should ultimately be achieved. Single pointedness in the thought that I am Brahman. That is the basic quality of a sadhak. So while performing other activities, how do we maintain that? How do we maintain that thought flow? Because we are focused on the activity.
Yes, it is. While you are performing activities, it is difficult to maintain the thought I am Brahman. The best attitude is that you perform activity as a devotee, as a bhakta, offer your. That's the best attitude while performing activities. Samadhanam means samadhi, single pointedness, etc., is for those who have given up everything. And they are all now, this is the preparation for Viveka, Atma, Anatma, Viveka, and person is devoted to that. Since we are not totally committed to that and we have to function also, so samadhanam in the sense of single pointedness and activity is difficult. But at the same time, that the goal of whatever I am doing is knowledge. Means that immediate goal of whatever I am doing is pleasing Ishvara, is getting the purity of mind, is getting rid of ragadveshas. That's immediate goal, agenda. So while you are doing your activities, the immediate agenda is how best I am not controlled by my emotions or impulses of ragadvesha. And when you function, interact with the world, there are enough times that people push your buttons. So that is when the test comes. That the impulse in me arises, I dislike something, they create in me a resentment, a dislike. And ordinary people will act only out of resentment, dislike, hatred, whatever happens to them, that is, they will succumb to their impulse and act. Whereas we should we recognize that impulse has come. The way this person has behaved with me, I hate, let's say. But I still have a value of not submitting myself to that hatred, to maintain as much calmness as possible. So that is how I become stronger. That even though there is all the justification to retaliate, I do not retaliate. And because I have value for not retaliating. So I put up with it, with this understanding that I do not want to submit to the spirit of retaliation. So if you have that viveka, then you become stronger. By not retaliating either, you become weaker because you don't react. But since you have value of not retaliating, even though your mind wants to retaliate, you don't. So then you become stronger. So in the vyavahara, occasions will come when people do not treat you with respect, etc. At that time, to maintain calmness is a big value. So whatever extent we can do, to that extent we can grow. So that way Vyavahara can become a very good training ground for training our mind. એમાં જ થાય, બેઠા બેઠા ના થાય, ઘરે બેઠા ના થાય. અમારા મોટા સ્વામીજી કહે, if you want to sharpen your knife, you require a rough grinding stone. So world is like rough grinding stone. And your mind is like that knife which you want to sharpen. But you must know how to contact that grinding stone. If you don't hold your knife properly, then the knife can become blunt also. Don't hold it properly, it will fire towards you. So you should firmly hold that knife against the grinding stone so that it becomes sharp. This is an example. Similarly, you want to use all this vyavahara with the rough world. For she talked about her child, it's difficult, we can't teach this to a child. We can as grown-up people certainly try to follow that. Because we can understand the value of it, a child cannot understand. So a child has to be taught whatever is the child is capable of understanding, that's all. પછી એક લાફો મારી દેવાની જરૂર પડે. આપણે તો કશું માર્યો નથી, પણ આ તો વાત છે કે you at least defend yourself. You may not strike back, but at least this karate itself will help you to defend yourself. They'll make the mind also strong, they train you. So this martial arts is a good training for girls.
Swamiji, but sometimes even children behave sensibly. Sometimes we learn from them, sometimes. Because they are very innocent and they are very pure. So sometimes we learn. Because I just had an experience, એક લગન હતું, તો ત્યાં મીન્સ શોશાહીમાં બધા મીન્સ બ્રાહ્મણ ઘરના માણસો બધા પૈસા ઉડાવતા હતા. So there was a little girl, she must hardly be 6 or 7 year old. She told her father that આ તો લક્ષ્મી કહેવાય, આવી રીતે ફેંકાય નહીં. And she picked up those notes immediately. So I really appreciated that. Just
શું કહેતા તમે તો? The adult mind can be taught to process. Child cannot be taught. It's not yet grown to appreciate or understand those things. As to why should I not retaliate? An adult can be taught what is there to gain by not retaliating. But there is a value in also in putting up with unpleasantness, etc. If it is done with understanding, not out of helplessness. You put up with something out of helplessness, that is damaging. But you know that, this, okay, I don't know, do I like them? You have the value. You can, if you feel abused, sure, you can clarify that I feel this, and please, I appreciate. But I appreciate if you, don't do this or whatever. We may not retaliate, but we can certainly make our feelings clear. That this is how I feel. When you treat me in this way, this is what I feel. I would appreciate if you don't do that.
So yesterday I helped her read what kind of kids are bullies on the Stop Bullying website. And we were reading together. Okay, the kids that have problems in their home, that are not loved, that have some internal issue are the ones that are bullies. So I was trying to develop compassion in her. It is not what she said that you should focus on. It is why she said the way she said it. And it is not your problem. She is the one who is in trouble. She is the sad person, even though outwardly she's behaving like this. You're saying, oh mom, no, she's very popular in school and it. But that way I was trying to create compassion in her by showing, okay, see, these are the people who are bullying you and you should feel pity for them. कि बिचारा, they have so much problem and that's how they are behaving. I don't know how much. I think she's capable of understanding, but I was trying to generate that empathy in her despite what she went through. Afterwards, not right away. But,
The person behind the behavior.
yeah, right.
It
But I
may
don't know if a child mind can understand that. It seemed
and
like she was.
maybe she can. She can, possibly. Uh, but it may be difficult on the spur of the moment. Later on, perhaps we may. But you cannot just give in and give in and give in. Even a child also, because even though she understands, that is not mature understanding. So she will feel abuse, she will feel pain, she will feel, belittled. And if that continues, that affects your own self-esteem.
Yes.
You start believing that this is how you are.
Right.
So it is difficult for a child to grow in an environment like that. I am really unhappy to hear that this is how the atmosphere is in the schools. And the management knows that. And nothing, they can't, because a lot of individual rights are there, children have rights, parents have rights, what you can do, this is what you can tell the children, you cannot do this, that and whatever. Even here also. In our day, just give him a slap, but that's no more possible. Soti wage chamcham.
And the sad part is that હવે તો દેશીઓ જ વધારે કરે છે, because in the school there's like 90% Desi population.
90%?
Because there are so many Desis who live in this area. I mean, there's like the minority is the white teachers basically. But yes, it's a sad fact.
But then Deshis generally grow up better than other people, isn't it?
There's a lot of Muslim population also in the area.
Okay, that's what. But તોય શું, એ તો બધા અહીંયા તો એજ્યુકેટેડ હોય ને બધા.
ના સ્વામીજી, કારણ કે હમણાં વચ્ચે જ કશુંક હતું, the same girl said like, oh, you guys are so, you Hindus are so શું કહેવાય, you burn your people, you are not you're not loving at all, we will bury. I'm like, આટલા નાના છોકરાઓને આ બધી ખબર પડે છે and they are saying stuff like that. પેલી મને કહે કે what should I say? I said we are environmentally friendly, you should tell them we are environmentally friendly and just stop it there. But it is, I don't know, these kids are...
No, what propaganda is done,
Mm-hmm.
And what they are taught or what they see on the social media.
Yes.
Yeah. શું થયું? એટલે એ બધું શક્ય છે. All kind of misinformation at that age also, social media. The children are told what they are told. So they start believing naturally that Hindus are like this. Hindus don't teach this about Muslims and others, but they may teach about Hindus. આપણે તો કહીએ બધાને સ્વીકાર કરો ને બધા compassion ને ફલાણા, this is what we teach. They may not teach that.
No. They are very strict. એ લોકોના એજ ઉંમરના third, fourth standardના છોકરાઓ રમદાન વખતે they are not eating during lunch. And Isha tells me કે આ લોકો ખાતા નથી, એકાદશીએ હું નહીં ખાઉં. મેં ના ભાઈ તું ખાય, તારે ખાવું પડશે, તારે સોકર છે. હું પણ નહીં ખાઉં એમ.
કોણ નહીં
I will
ખાતું?
also, કારણ કે these Muslim kids, they fast during Ramadan. They will not eat during lunch.
રમઝાન, હા.
They will not eat during lunch. And she will see that. She's like,